Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the Paper Joy, and if this is a welcome back, that is awesome. I'm glad that you're here. I'm Janelle, and on this channel I talk about journaling and planning and writing and my love of paper and how I use these things as a creative outlet. I very recently discovered planning systems over the summer, but I've always written on paper, journaled. I am a writer. I do write for work and I write in my life, so I always find myself putting my thoughts on paper. And I started a lot of new-ish journaling practices in 2024. So my writing and the experience of writing for me has just really become an important part of my life this past year. And in doing so, I found planning and planning systems and just the creative outlet that can become. So when I find things that can help with the experience of writing, and if I can begin to do those things, then that is something that I like to do. So enter a brand new fountain pen, and my very first fountain pen. So I have never used a fountain pen before, not growing up, not in school. I became aware of more fountain pen use, watching other videos and people using them, and I was again immediately drawn to them. They just look beautiful. I love the way that they looked, the way that they sounded on the paper, writing, and I was like, okay, I need to try one of these pens. I have not used one, and I was very curious. So I wanted to start this journey, and I wanted to get into it a little slowly. I didn't want to just jump in and start buying things. I wanted to do some research. That's what I do. I try and research things a little bit before I just, jump in. And I came across a lot of lists and videos for, first-time fountain pen users and beginner users. And honestly, the list that I saw for pens, I wasn't in love with the pens on the list. Aesthetically, I wasn't really drawn to them, but I knew I didn't want to spend a ton of money on my first pen without really having any fountain pen experience on how to use one, how to fill it with ink or clean them, or all these things that you read about, which actually add to the intimidation factor. So I just, I kept reading, I kept researching, and I kept looking at pens on different sites. And this one was the first one that just jumped out at me. I love the way that it looked. It was reasonably priced, and it is now my very first fountain pen. So as you can see, it has some little coffee elements on the box. That is the name of this pen. It is the Sheaffer 100 Coffee Edition. So all about coffee. The color of it is wonderful. It's beautiful, and it just lit me up. I just fell in love with it the first time I saw the picture of it. So, and it was reasonably priced, so didn't feel like I was overspending on the pen. So this is a nice little saying here, the right kind of coffee. Cute little box sleeve that it came in there. And this is the pen, or the box. So let's open this up here and take a look at my brand new, beautiful first fountain pen. And you can see here, it is this lovely coffee inspired pen, and I just loved it the first time that I saw it. I thought it was beautiful, the colors. I am a huge coffee drinker. I actually drink black coffee most days, but on occasion, I'll throw some cream of some, cream in my coffee, or have a specialty type of coffee. But it is just this kind of ombre brown, it's called, that is the body of the pen. So I've never discussed a fountain pen before, so I do have just a few notes here to kind of take me through what I would like to talk about. But so it is an ombre brown pen. You can see the colors kind of fade, darker to lighter throughout the body of the pen. It does have a metal body, so it is a pretty weighty pen, which I was really surprised at when I first picked it up. It's definitely heavier than like the regular pens that I've always used, these kind of plastic pens. So definitely has some weight to it. It feels good in the hand. I was a little like, oh my gosh, that's super heavy, but I do like that. Let's see, it is steel brown. The accents on it, so it almost looks like a copper for the accents around the pen. And it is also a snap cap, so I'm gonna pull the cap off here so we can see inside. And we have this. Now I'm going to get more into the pen, but let me show you what came in the box. So it was in this nice padded kind of box, and then it did come with 2 ink cartridges. It has a blue and a black one, and then it also came with its own converter, which I thought was a good addition for the pen. Again, I haven't used these before, so having a couple options of ways to ink it, or to get the pen started was a good addition to have. It does have, so Sheaffer is proprietary, I think it is, when you can only use their cartridges to fill it, but it does have the converter, so you can only use Sheaffer ink cartridges in the pen, but you can put whatever ink in the converter. So let's take a look at this again. I want to first draw you guys in here just a little bit so you can see some of the details of the pen. I want to show, number one, the cap, because this is another reason I absolutely fell in love with it. You can see it has this cute little heart coffee cup on the cap, and then on the nib, which is this brown nib, and again it almost looks like copper. You can see it has an F here to denote the fine tip, and then it has Sheaffer's written across it, and then just some other kind of intricate details there of the pen. And it's just beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. I love the color. Of course, once you write with it, you get, kind of some fingerprints on there, but I'm okay with that because I think it looks beautiful. You can also post the cap, so you can put the cap on there if that is to your preference. I haven't noticed yet where it scratches or does anything like that back here, so yeah, I think it's just beautiful. And getting into the body of the pen, so again, it did come with 2 ink cartridges, and then it comes with its own converter. So in taking the barrel off here, I do have it inked up currently with a converter. I did start with the Sheaffer black ink cartridge that came with the pen. So this is their cartridge, and it has a little bit larger capacity than the converter. The cartridge capacity is 1.49 milliliters, and then the converter capacity is 0.99 milliliters, which I'm not sure if that converter capacity is standard, but it seems like a pretty decent amount to go through. But I have been playing with this for about a week now, so I'm figuring out, you know, the best ways to fill this and to get it going. Figure that out pretty quickly. Again, I was intimidated by it just because of all the things I was reading about, you know, beginner this and first timers this, and you know, it just made me like, oh my gosh, am I gonna, you know, figure this out? And you know, it's not super difficult, so I'm already more comfortable with this type of pen. This is not listed anywhere that I've seen as a beginner pen, and you know, I'm pretty much good to go with it, and I'm glad that I went with one. That's not the right thing. Glad that I went with one, like I said, that I was immediately drawn to, that just lit me up when I saw it, and something I knew I wanted to see in person and try and write with. So yeah, that is just this lovely first fountain pen. So I thought I would do a quick writing sample too, just to show the nib, I guess, and how it's writing on the paper. So this is my Sterling ink planner, so the Tomo River paper. I think it's worked really well on this thus far. The ink I'm using right now and the Sheaffer ink have both dried pretty quickly. I haven't noticed a lot of smudging or smearing or anything like that, or bleeding through on the paper. So I'm just gonna do a quick, get my kind of journal page started here. And it does look a little wet, writing that there. And I'm just gonna throw some more words on here to mark the day. And this is another black ink that I put in the converter. It is called, I did get some samples with the pen, so that was nice. And I really wanted to try these samples out, so that's why I had to get rid of the cartridge and stick some samples in here, or a sample at least, to try to figure out the converter and to try some different inks. So this is, what's in here now is called the Diamine, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Diamine Solstice, which is another black shade of ink. And in the swatch, it showed some kind of sheen in it, but I haven't noticed that in writing with it. But it's you know, I didn't realize there were so many shades of black. So I know that when I write and when I journal, I do like a darker ink to use. I do like colored or different colors of ink for like highlight kind of things, or maybe some quotes or something like that. But when I am just straight writing or journaling, you know, in a journaling session, I really do prefer a darker ink. So I'll always keep, I believe, keep some kind of darker ink, whether black or a dark kind of navy blue, on hand for my kind of straight writing and journaling sessions. So I'm just gonna do a couple more things here. Some lines to show the nib. So that is something else that I will be learning, the different nib sizes. This is a fine, and it writes well in this grid paper. And then doing a little test here, a little darker. And this almost comes out like a charcoal-y color. So it's not as dark black as the Sheaffer ink was, for sure. There is definitely a noticeable difference between the two black inks. And I don't know, preference over either or. I do like this a lot, but the Sheaffer ink was nice too. But you can see there is some shades in the ink there. So it looks good though, and it writes really well. I'm not noticing any kind of skipping or anything like that. It's it comes out, the flow of the ink is really good for as far as I can tell, not using one of these before. So I'm happy with it. I'm super happy with it. Not only is it beautiful, but for me right now it is writing, it's writing great. And I do feel the weight in my hands. Sometimes I do put the post on it. Really just depends on where I'm at. If I'm at home, I'll usually leave that off, but if I'm out and about, just to keep hold of it, I'll put that post on it. But yeah, that's it. My very first fountain pen, the Sheaffer 100 Coffee Edition, and I love it, and I'm super happy with it. I am very excited for this journey, although I am going to continue to take this slow and continue to research, continue to learn. There is actually a Ohio pen show coming up soon, which is just perfect timing because I do plan to go to this, see what I see. I'm expecting a completely overwhelming experience. We will see, but my curiosity is ablaze. So looking forward to continuing with this and trying these new beautiful pens. So that's it for today, and I'm so happy with my new fountain pen and continuing in this journey. And thank you for checking this out, spending some time with me today, and I do hope to see you in the next one. And I hope you have a great day, guys. Thank you. Bye.